Hello, this is an update on Chapter 1, Part 1, the Ian storyline, if you choose her as a player character, for Grydscaen My Blue Elysium visual novel. And so we are done with Chapter 1, Part 1 for Ian, and we still have a little bit to go for Faid. So we have introduced the inciting element in this story, inciting incident. So we do have that done. So this is chapter 1. It's called data card, and basically we need to hand off the data card, which is going to start the entire journey and transformation for the character. So in this part 1, when we had Faid start, he started in the red light district, and so Ian's story also starts in the red light district, but in a different location. So when you see Faid, he starts out on the street, but Ian is actually in front of the lipstick host bar, and she's passing out flyers. And so we've gotten all the backgrounds done, all the designs. We were working on a little bit of sprite animation for the characters, but what we were going to be doing is release chapter 1, so there will be 3 chapters. It's a 3-act play for this story, and so we were working on releasing all of chapter 1, parts 1, 2, and 3, potentially on Steam for free, potentially, or maybe for a cost. We haven't decided that yet, and we're looking at that, and we want to time it with the release of Grydscaen Revolution, which is the first book in the Grydscaen series, which is being re-released. There's some changes. It'll probably have a new cover, and so that will be something that we want to do, because this book is actually some of the backstory for Revolution. And that was the first book that was ever written in the Grydscaen series, and is the first book in the overall series. And so this gives some of the backstory about Faid Chapter, and here we can see Ian in the bar, and what we're going to try to do potentially is actually have some animation. So there was a scene there, she was doing some blinking. We may have her be able to talk. We do have some voiceovers for some of the scenes, and we want to potentially have her move, so she could move her arm there, as you can see. So we want to do that, maybe have some hair moving. So we'll be working on that for the next part of November. And we'll be working on fleshing out the story for all 3 acts in the game in November for NaNoWriMo. So Grydscaen My Blue Elysium is our NaNoWriMo novel writing month project. And so I just wanted to give you an update about that. So basically in part 1, we've got to get Ian the data card, because that is the name of the chapter. And so right there you were seeing Jester. So here's Jester. And we are going to be having Jester is one of the key players as a hacker. He's the head of the Jester Hacker Guild, sorry. And she is meeting him directly in the lipstick host club. Now, Faid had to actually start somewhere else in the red light district before he meets Jester, and he'll actually meet Jester in a different location. But we will basically have to go through some of the same touch points. So, where Faid met Race before he's going to meet Jester, he hasn't gotten there yet. Jester met Ian directly at her club where she is working, and so here you can see the data card gets handed off, and that is basically the main thing that's going to trigger the story. There's also a little bit of mystery in here because Jester does know something about Ian that's not communicated, and so we want to understand why does he know that, and how is that important, and what is that going to impact on her. So you can see her blinking there for a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit more sprite animation as well. So thank you very much. This was just an update. Thanks.